Okay, hi, this is Kathy, and I am going to be your guide to painting saltwater today. Interestingly enough, I decided to try something else. I was going to use table salt, but I ended up using pink Himalayan salt, so this will be interesting. So the ratio for salt, whether it's this kind or the other, is I use 1 to 2, so 1 tablespoon of salt to 2 tablespoons of water. So basically I put 2 tablespoons of salt in here, and this is a half cup, so that's, I don't know if it's, anyway, basically that's what I did. I put a good amount on the bottom and stir it for a while until it starts to dissolve. And then I use where is that brush? I use a brush. This is one of the ones in Michelle's kit. Well, not the one that she recommended, but I got what I wanted. Oh, I always also tape my thing down, and I apologize I didn't do that yet. But yeah, I always tape it down because inevitably when you're working on paper, which is what this is, it's 140 pound or 300 GSM cold press, and it's my favorite brand is Saunders Waterford. So that's what this is. And I'm using the back side of something that another project I thought would be a great idea, and I always go way overboard, or I used to. I'm trying to be better. I always go way overboard and like overdo until I actually try it. That's one thing that Catalyst has taught me, is to try before you go big scale, or before you go multi-scale, which is what I tend to do. Like, oh, this one would be good, this one would be good. But anyway, okay, so all I do is I put the brush in, and you use quite a lot, and hopefully you can see this. And I just try and not make it uniform, and even sometimes leave in some white space if you want to. It's not absolutely necessary, and I don't worry if there's salt crystals either, because it makes them dissolve a bit more. So after that, then all you do is add your paint. Now I'm using either concentrated watercolor, which I have P.H. Martin, not very many, or I also have Artist Loft, which are okay. The P.H. Martins are definitely better, but I'm going to bring them both out. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. So the reason for the hot water, if I didn't explain that, is that it helps immeasurably to melt the salt. That's why I use salt water. I'm just going to take a few colors that I'm often using, because I want to create, I love that color palette that I've been creating, which is, it turns the purple with yellow into a lovely blood red or brownish red color that I really, really like. So I'm going to take a few things here, because I always play around. One more. Yeah, maybe some Vivid Violet, because I don't have any purple. Okay, so these are my colors. I've got, this is Vivid Violet. That's Artist Loft acrylic ink. I have FW, which is Daler Rowney acrylic ink in turquoise. I have Bombay India ink in violet. Then the Artist Loft concentrated watercolor in turquoise and moss green and yellow. Yellow is, I love yellow, dark yellow. And then, I also have a chartreuse, which I may or may not use. And I take my tube paints and mix them with water, and I've never had them go bad, but you can put a drop of tea tree oil or some other hypo or antibacterial type thing. But so I put about an inch of good quality paint, or that's what I use, but anyway, about an inch of paint, and then I fill it about halfway up and shake until it dissolves. And as you can see, it needs to be shaken again, but this is older paint. So this is purple, bright clear purple, I think it's called, or violet or something. And this is red violet, which I love red violet, but both are good. I think that's it. Oh, and I have some gold because I will likely put gold on. Okay, so normally I don't talk so much or delay so much, but it shouldn't make any difference. Might just put a little bit more on, because the thing about this is on hot press paper, and you know, hot press, likely it really dries quickly, for me anyway. I never really used hot press until I started doing these kinds of paintings, and when I use lots of color, I mostly use what is that called? Sorry. I mostly use, I can't remember. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Okay, so this is the Dr. P.H. Martin's Violet. Now watch, this is unreal. Look at how that happens. And I don't want to show it to you too closely, but look how it's broken up the paint. It's just fascinating how it happens. So this is acrylic ink, and I think the acrylics break up more. So now I'm going to try a concentrated watercolor and see. Oh yeah, I was going to try and go lighter. Sure. Okay, so this, hopefully you can see this. Oh, this one didn't. Interesting. This one didn't move. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I manipulate all the time. I'm not a let's see what it does kind of person. I'm like, let's see what I can make happen person, but you can leave it. So I'm going to try another concentrated watercolor here, and we'll see how that one does. That's pretty too. Do you see it? I hope. Sorry. Ouch. As you know, as I said, I don't have a very professional quality. So there, that's how it works. And so now I'm going to add more acrylics, because those are the ones that really break up. This one, oh, there we go. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah, acrylics definitely break up way more than watercolors, but watercolors are still lovely. Now, when I use these, I take off, like I just use these bottles because I like them to be sealed. I'm really messy or clumsy. So I just use a pipette. Pipettes are your friends in this particular thing. So just gonna see what happens if I throw a lot of this down, because it's, as I said, my favorite color. And then I just rinse it out and then reuse it. The pipette, I mean. So one of my favorite, as I said, color combinations is this lovely violet, which is coolly separating nicely. And that was watercolor paint, by the way. That's one of the ones I made. So look what happens when I add it. Just turns this gorgeous color of a brownie yellow brownie red that I absolutely love. And so eventually you're going to have to stop because you can't get any more color on, or there's no more space. And if it gets really full, I don't typically bother too much with it if it's on paper because the paper will absorb it. But most of the type of paintings I do are on, when I do these kinds of paintings, I have a method I call water flow, and I use mineral paper or synthetic paper for it. But so I'm just going to show you in case you ever decide you want, because mineral paper doesn't absorb water. So what I do is I empty this out, make sure I have a cloth, because I have to make sure there's no water. And hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'll try and be careful. But anyway, see, so I squeeze a lot of air out, and then I just put, I hope you can see this, I put the thing in here and see how it absorbs, and it takes away some of the paint so that it can dry fast. It can actually dry, because as I said, the mineral paper doesn't dry. Okay, so I'm going to show you too. I also sometimes touch into these because this is the salt water I'm activating again. Sometimes it makes the colors bloom again, but it seems to work more with the and I rinse it in. I rinse it in plain water. So this is not as good as I thought I could be, but anyway, I love the colors and I love this technique, but this is essentially what it is. Just use the water as the base. If this is what you're doing, you can also, you don't have to use salt water to do this kind of method, but I like it. So I'm just gonna add a teensy little bit of purple and see what happens. It's different than, I'm gonna put it in there. It's different than the violet red. It doesn't have the same colors in it. It's got more blue in it, so it doesn't color the same, but I still love it. So there. Now I'm gonna try adding a little bit more water. I'm gonna use a little brush this time. Just see. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Yep. Cool. Oh yes, baby. There. That is the technique. That's all it is. And I got this from one of the members. She's a preschool teacher. And this is what she does to show, I don't know if she actually tells them what it is, but this is called capillary action or something like that, which is fascinating. But anyway, that's it. That's the whole thing. I'm going to turn you off, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.